Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
The guy's a bird, and
let's talk Devils and Islanders. Let's talk Penguins and Rangers, but let's not talk about Flyers, cause they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny.
Episode 118 of the Friends and Rivals podcast coming at you live and hot. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Hargness. Joining me each week are
Stephen Wojtowicz,
Billy Fougere,
Nick Larita.
You guys are a bunch of fucking pussies. You know that? We asked you to bet something, and because they lost game
Bill,
one,
you're gonna let them talk about you like that?
You're not gonna bet anything. You guys are a bunch of pussies. You know that?
Listen, if you're gonna make a bet, you gotta determine the parameters of the bet before the contest begins.
Oh, man.
And you have not. You did not do that.
And wasn't it you who said, "Oh, I smell a bet that's gonna come on out"?
You had
before next week.
You had 5 days to determine the parameters of the bet. You had 5 days. You did nothing.
Oh, man.
Giant pussy.
You get nothing. No
and
bet.
so now they're down 1-0, and they're down 2-0 in game 2, and you're just going to give up. It's just that easy. You just giving up on your Panthers.
I don't have to worry about it. It's that simple. I don't have to worry about it.
You know why this happened, Tom? Right? Don't you know why Nick and Steve picked the Panthers? Because their teams lost to Carolina. Carolina was so good. And then somebody went and beat mighty Carolina, and they had to go pick the hot hand, the Florida team. But
I mean, listen, we didn't even get to play Carolina this year, so
yeah.
what are you gonna do?
My team lost to Florida too, sort of.
Your team fucked it up from jump street, though.
My team fucked up the whole Stanley Cup Finals.
Completely.
Like I said
up.
last week, that long layoff costs Florida.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said.
I do remember saying that.
Well, game one was certainly entertaining, and I think the turning point in that game, we can all agree, was the non-high stick by the officials and the review officials in game one. I believe that was the turning point in that game. And look, we saw it last year. As soon as it went to replay, I texted you guys and said, listen, it's a high stick, no question about it, but the goal is going to stand. And that's sure as shit. It's exactly what happened. But the funny thing in all of that, so who's the rules guy? Don Koharski?
Oh, Don Koharski.
Is it Koharski?
Yeah.
He fucking comes on and starts giving you the rules about high sticking in the NHL. Steve, what's your understanding? And guys, what's all of your understandings of what a high stick is in the NHL? Crossbar.
It was.
When did Koharski change the rules and say it's at normal shoulder height?
And
for who?
That's the reason. If I remember correctly, somewhere in the 90s, they went to crossbar because of the extreme height differences in players. Right. So they went crossbar to make it a universal height.
Yeah, you needed a standard.
On the broadcast was like, "Oh, that's a great explanation of the rule there, Koharski." Blah 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 blah. When did this change?
You'll have to ask Don. Get him on.
I don't remember when it changed, but I feel like the reason it changed is just so that they would never have to worry about reversing a call. No. I mean, that is such a massive gray area. It's like whatever they call, they could just say, yeah. We don't have evidence that it was above an opponent's normal shoulder height. I mean, come on.
I was on this very podcast 1 year ago today, bitching and moaning about the Gensel's high stick against the Rangers last year in round one. And all I kept hearing about was the crossbar and how the crossbar is the level that the stick needs to be under. So this year, all of a sudden, it's fucking different.
Who knows, man? All year they were.
Oh, you're gonna do it.
No, Nick just fucked it up. I was going to do a little fucking throwback, but Nick fucked it up.
Wow.
Just like the bet. Sorry, guys.
You guys.
Tina just texted me and she makes a great point. If Martin Kovic's out on the ice, his shoulders are below the crossbar.
Well, yeah.
So does that mean
But who's the judge? Is it Zdeno Chara or is it Martin St. Louis? Which one is it? It was.
And what is
comical.
what's a normal shoulder height? Is it standing straight up or
Or
do we
or
assume
bent
that they're
over
going
in
to
a
bend their
hockey
knees a little bit in
stance?
the hockey
Well,
game?
they made that point. The reason why it looks high is because Stone was hunched over.
Oh, it was just, I mean, the stone goal was a high stick by any sensible definition.
No,
Period. I don't
Yes.
care what the fuck height anything is. I mean, anybody who saw that, it was above his own head where he knocked it down.
it was comical.
Ridiculous.
So glad we didn't bet because now it's 3-0.
Damn it! Hey, listen, it's only
You
2-0
guys are
if it happens.
idiots for not determining something to bet before.
Yeah, you really.
Billy was
really
talking
is
about
to
hold. He
Steve
got all
down.
distracted.
You guys
Yeah.
are idiots.
First, I'd be more honorable and I would, stick to the bet even if we named a bet. after
No, because you could fucking
I have
say
more honor.
anything right now. You could
I
say
sure
Roos
can, but it
Chris.
happens to be true.
You could say Roos Chris, but
Arthur's.
no, it's not happening.
Oh, come on.
Oh, all right.
Buffalo
Jeez.
Wild Wings? Nothing?
No,
How much for one rib?
I'd get you
How much some soda you just put in my hands?
Wendy's. I would bet a Wendy's at this point.
When? Ah.
It's got to go down dramatically after one game loss and down
How am I,
3-0.
first off, how am I collecting on my bet? Who's coming down to buy me
You're
fucking
fucking in
Wendy's?
New Jersey every other week these days.
I am not. I have nothing planned.
Were you in New Jersey last week,
No.
Tom?
Maybe I was.
Were you in New Jersey 2 weeks ago?
No, 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so every other week. Thank
Just
you
so
for proving my
coincidentally,
fucking
this
point.
month I had to travel a lot for work. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You'll be up
Thank you
here in
for-
no
your
time.
apology is accepted.
Thanks, Billy. By the way, I like
Shut
the
up.
beard, Billy.
You little fucking brown noser.
But I can't for the life of me. And maybe someone can research this, or maybe I should have researched this before I started bitching and moaning about this. Is last year it was crossbar, this year it's shoulder height. If it is shoulder height, that's fine. But I don't remember them changing the fucking rule. Even in the preseason, when you get let's look at all these changes that are new for the 2022-23 season. I don't recall seeing high sticking fall under shoulder height category. It's always been crossbar. And for Koharski, the rules official, to go on national TV and give us that horseshit line, and then all three announcers commend him for explaining the rules, and then okay.
1992-93.
That's
High
when they changed it?
sticking redefined to include any use of the stick above waist height. Previous rule stipulated shoulder height. Okay. 1993-94.
I didn't know we were getting
High
history on
sticking redefined to allows goals scored with a high stick below the height of the crossbar. And that's the last entry in Scouting the Refs NHL historical rule changes from 1910 to 2023. No mention of shoulder height after 93-94.
this. Wow.
As a
Great
matter of fact,
job,
the
TNT.
only other entry for high sticking was in 2019-2020. Video review expand to allow refs to review major match penalties and high sticking double minors.
Great. Well, it looks like the NHL and the officials have bet on Vegas to win the cup. That is the only explanation. No, that air is bad for the podcast, boys.
Well, don't
Right.
say stupid shit.
That wasn't stupid shit. That's absolutely factual. I want to see bank accounts for fucking Wes McCauley's fucking.
Oh, you don't think they
After
do it on
game
some
one.
offshore account? Come on.
Wow.
I don't necessarily think the fix is in or anything like that, but yeah, it shouldn't have been a goal. That's all. It just shouldn't have been a goal.
It's one game. We've seen every game have bad calls.
Don't say it's one
Yeah.
game because
Yeah,
then
it's
they're
only
going
one
to say
game,
if
Nick.
it's
Might as
only
well
one
bet
game,
something
let's
then.
do the bet.
Might as well bet. It's only
Come
one
on,
game.
Nick.
I'm not
Come
the
on,
one.
Nick.
I'm not the one that is going, I'll give you an Arby's gift card. I'll mail it to you.
You want to make a
Christ.
fucking
What
bet?
kind of bet?
I got Arby's right down the street. Curly fries, bro.
You want to
hot
make
roast
the
beef?
bet with them down one game and down 3-0 in game 2.
I mean, I wasn't planning on negging on my bet here, man.
Yeah. See,
You
Nick's
came
an
out
honorable guy.
swinging. You came out swinging. I ain't doing it. You can't hold me down. I don't know what you're talking about. You ain't got no proof. Show me the receipts.
All right. So
Oh, well.
good for Vegas. That's great. Wonderful. Hopefully by this time next week, we will have a Stanley Cup champion. It's a little spread out, isn't it? Is it, man, they really want those primetime games on the weekend, don't they? Woo! Holy hell.
Lots of days off.
Yeah.
Wow. So after tonight, next game is Thursday and then Saturday and then Tuesday. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So there's that. All right, moving on. Next in the agenda is wow.
Checking things off tonight. We are just checking things off.
Wow,
That's it.
listen, that was a good solid.
flying.
15
Let's
minutes.
go.
Good solid 15 minutes on one agenda item. So the Penguins do hire Dubas.
You got to fucking say it.
No,
Dubas.
I'm
You
not
got to
saying
say
it. It's quality. It was quality. But not in the GM role, which I think took a lot of people by shock, Bill.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what I think that's what Dubas was trying to hold out for. Obviously, was to be the guy, to not have to answer to a Shanahan or anybody in a president role. He wanted that full control, and he's got it. And so now he is the president and the interim GM. And I'm not sure what his timeline is for hiring a GM, but yeah, he's done a solid job hiring good hockey people during his tenure in Toronto. So I guess we're going to put our trust in this guy and see what happens. But yeah, I think that's what Pittsburgh probably had to do to land him, because obviously there's a mess. There's a mess there. He's not stepping into a situation where a couple of tweaks are going to put him over the top. So probably had to give up something to get a good guy in the president role. Yes, Tom.
No, I was waving at Ben behind Nick.
Okay.
I'm gonna put you on. Can I put you on the spot? Can I put you on the spot?
Ooh, me?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can I do it?
No.
All right.
Yes.
Kyle Dubas calls up Bill Fougere. Bill, you're the next GM of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Congratulations. Come to Pittsburgh. We'll have a press conference for you tomorrow. What's your first course of action as
He's
GM
going to go
of the
get that
Penguins?
fucking sandwich with the French fries on it.
What is your first move
From Ante
as
Brothers.
GM of the
Yeah,
Penguins?
that's where he's going.
No, non-food related. Non-food related.
I was just, yeah. Gosh, seeing if I was running the team, it would be
You're
seeing if I could
GM. You're
unload-
GM.
it
Your
would be
first
seeing
move
if I
is
could-
what?
I'm trying to unload Malkin's contract. I'm trying to unload Letang's contract. I'm trying to see what I can get to start getting some draft capital and quick. And yeah, I don't know what that's worth at this point. They got a lot of years left on those contracts. I don't necessarily know they're tradable, but I'm trying to look for any way to get some draft capital, even if it means blowing up, even if it means like trading a guy that does have some value still, like a Jake Gensel or something like that. I mean, I'm starting to move people. I'm starting to move people and build draft capital and trying to reload.
Wow. Malkin or Letang.
Shit.
Ooh, making a name for yourself right from
And
Jump
I don't think the GM that reports to Dubas is going to have the power to do that necessarily, based on what Dubas has actually said since he was hired, that he's betting on those guys. But
we
that's
all
what I
know
would.
what Dubas says in a press conference and what he really thinks are two different things. So
very well could be. I sort of hope so. Yeah. But he said, he said he's betting on those guys. And, to be fair, like I'm not.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair, I think that those guys, maybe Malkin, maybe not Malkin, but like Letang and Crosby and some of these core guys can be the core group of a playoff team. Possibly. I do think they're still good enough, but the pieces and the parts that they need around them are substantially higher quality than what they've got right now. And I don't see the path to rebuilding the third and fourth lines and making them some level of an elite playoff team with what they have, which is absolutely nothing. Their system's completely dry. They don't really have a hell of a lot of cap space and rebuild it that way. So I don't see a way. I don't see a way out of this immediately for Dubas, even though he's talking about trying to reload with his current group.
Yeah, they got their first round picks for the next 3 years, so he can't wait to trade those away for some more aging guys. You know, that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is actually a really interesting situation. If you look at their cap structure, I mean, most of the guys are all UFAs. That forwards, even the defensemen, everyone really of real notice, they all could be gone. I mean, he could just completely remake this roster. But as he said in the press conference, it sounds like he's going to try and get these guys another little run here. I mean, you know, Crosby's 35, Malkin's 36, Letang's 36. I mean, This is not like, this is a very limited window, or you blow it up. Like, there's no in between.
Yeah, I feel like the window's shut, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it would take some kind of gymnastics, some kind of impressive gymnastics to figure out how to reload this team with an entire third, fourth line, and probably a third line defense, which does not exist out of the 8 defensemen that they already have.
You're lucky that doesn't cost a lot of money to do, though. Your third and fourth lines and your fifth and sixth defensemen don't cost a whole hell of a lot of money.
If you're really really good at figuring out where the bargains are, you got to be really good, though. And hopefully he is. Who knows? But
time will certainly tell on that one. So around the NHL, Gary Bettman had his State of the Union type of press conference around the Stanley Cup final. And there was a couple of interesting things there. $6 billion in hockey revenue this past year, which is obviously a record for the NHL. But it's still not enough to offset the escrow of what's owed. So that means we will only see a $1 million increase in salary cap structures for the next year, where some of us, like Bill and myself, we're kind of hoping for that $3 to $4 million bump this year. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, even though there, as Gary Bettman said, there's still beans to count. I'm not very shocked by this at all. I don't think any of you were shocked by that at all either.
No, I mean, it seems like this will go on for the next decade, where they just go, it's just not enough money enough profits to really take care of all the escrow. We're just going to slowly milk this until it's only like 5 cents left in escrow, and we'll just have to like make up some other bullshit reason. I'm really interested to see what that like actually looks like. Are they, because it seems like they just keep like milking, like, we might get this year. No, we didn't get there again. We didn't get there again. And it feels like they're just making tons of money off of this. I mean, this is the way I'm not looking at it.
Well, they are, but you have to remember, they also, the teams in 20 and 21 lost so much fucking money. So for them, this is kind of like paying back, and got to think they break out even maybe a little bit on the plus side.
So when we talked about this previously, the hope was that the NHL would get to 6.1 billion in revenue, and that would help raise the cap next year by more than just that $1 million. And I guess since they didn't hit that 6.1 number, that's what prevented it from going up even more.
Yeah, his exact words were approaching $6 billion. So I don't think they're actually,
so maybe they didn't even
that
get
6 number
6
as of yet.
Yeah.
And then it was the debate of will the players allow more money to go into escrow, and they definitely don't want that. So that's, I think, again, another reason why it didn't go up even higher.
A little bit about expansion. Although expansion is at the top of the priority list, he says there are interests from different parties, Atlanta, Houston, more likely. But 32 Thoughts
Utah
had had the guy from Utah, Ryan Smith, on their show this past week. And if you didn't hear it, if you didn't listen to it, go back and listen to that guy. They're itching. They're itching for hockey in Utah. And I thought it was a great interview by those guys.
Utah is one of those spots. So lacrosse is getting huge in Utah as well. And usually with one goes the other in one way or another. Either it's hockey and then lacrosse, or lacrosse and then hockey.
Well, it's not only that, it's the programs for the kids in the schools that they're just running with basketball right now. And they want to expand that to hockey and make it a part of everybody. And he's talking about with the Jazz next year, they're going to have to, kind of get away from traditional cable TV rights and make basketball available in everybody's home, even with rabbit ears, which I thought was a very interesting statement. They're going to have to kind of figure out a way to make up some of that money, but making it available in everyone's home, whether they have cable or not, is a huge thing, because if it's on TV, you're going to watch it.
Did he say they were one of those Bally Sports channels? Is that's why?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't recall if they were a Bally Sports team or not. Bill, you wanted to say something before. I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, it's fine. I was just wanted to get your guys' thoughts. Like, you're Utah or you're Atlanta or you're Houston, and you want an NHL team. Would you want your city to get the Coyotes or something like that to move in, or would you rather hold out for an NHL expansion team and start it from scratch? Because NHL expansion teams seem like
expansion.
Yeah,
100%.
They get competitive really quick. Yeah,
crazy.
Well, and Bettman went in his press conference to state that, the Coyotes are going to stay in Arizona in some way, shape, or form, at least for the next couple of years, and they're looking at options in the Phoenix area. So we'll see what comes to that. A couple of outdoor games announced. All of our teams. Oh, sorry, Bill.
Sorry, Bill.
Not all of our
well,
teams.
we had a home game with Finland last year.
The Heritage Classic, October 29th, Flames and Oilers at Commonwealth Stadium. The Winter Classic, January 1st, 2024, will be Vegas at Seattle at T-Mobile Park, the home of the Seattle Mariners. And then we get 2 Stadium Series games, both at MetLife Stadium, the weekend of February 17th and 18th. The 17th will feature the Devils and the Flyers.
Fuck the Flyers.
Fuck the Flyers.
And the 18th will feature an outdoor Ranger Devil game.
Ranger Islander.
Ranger Islander. My apologies. My eyes got crossed a little bit. Sorry about that, Nick.
February in New Jersey. Will I be going? That's the question.
Should be balmy. Well, I because you went last time and they lost, you're not going to go this time?
I don't know.
Is that your mentality?
Or is it just going to be way too fucking cold?
It can't be any colder than it was at Yankee Stadium.
It actually wasn't that bad.
It wasn't
freezing.
That
bad. I remember because it was the day game. Now Nick probably has a completely different
game.
Yeah.
And people said it was. I don't know. I don't remember. We saw next people that went to the game the day before, and they said it was really, because if I remember correctly, it was really cold that day too. It wasn't like much better, but I mean, it was fucking cold. I bought the 2 $10 hot chocolates just because I wanted something warm to drink. It was lukewarm because it was so fucking cold. By the way, I still have those cups. Those cups are great.
There is a chance I will be there. We will see.
Well,
it'll be nice to have a reporter live on location.
Yeah. So
Can I write that off?
Sure.
Yeah.
Devils, I'm assuming, will be home
right?
team for the 17th, and the Islanders will be the home team for the 18th.
I believe so.
It's
kind of funny too. It's the New Jersey Sports and Exposition Authority getting back in the hockey game as well. They haven't been a part of the Devils since they left the Meadowlands.
Your thoughts on the Stadium Series jerseys last time? I thought the Rangers ones were just okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the Islanders ones was basically their home jersey, right?
Yeah, it's just different version of the NY. I hate that logo. It's so lame, so lazy.
They had the NY logo.
Didn't they have that?
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Shit, I was thinking just the old basic Islander logo, like the one on your T-shirt.
No,
I am fully prepared for disappointment.
no, it was the
always
shittier
are.
version. It was
Because-
the shittier version of it.
Because the Stadium Series jerseys are always the ones that they go over the top with, right? The huge ass numbers. And I'm talking
Right.
since Yankee Stadium. Right? Think of the Colorado Avalanche jerseys from a couple years ago. I mean, the numbers were twice as big as they normally are.
Yeah.
And it's they usually try and go some sort of monochrome, shorts match the socks, match the jersey look. So I'm fully preparing for disappointment.
You're gonna get red and green again. You're going back to Christmas colors.
I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah. It seems like
So
that you're
here's-
destined for that.
Here's my
Yeah.
hot take for all designers out there.
Ooh, hot take.
Ready? Retro designs of anything is just fucking lazy.
Oof.
I know
This
it's
is-
popular.
No, listen, you've pissed off just about every design person out there now.
Who
so
knows
good
why
job.
it's popular, but retro jersey designs is just fucking lazy.
Would you go something like just something out there, like totally different? Because a one time only.
I would like to see like a better version of all black. Like that look, that black jersey look, but better than the jersey.
What if it was like all black and then just red lettering, like
And
a
it still
neon
said Jersey on
sign?
And just the NJ with no circle, no background on
No.
it.
It just says new.
That would be fucking funny. You know what? Maybe the marketing department is going to tweet that out as a sneak peek tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see.
You should tweet it to the Devils. They'll fucking use it.
It might come out from the Friends and Rivals account tomorrow. Here's a quick sneak peek of the jersey.
Oh man.
I can't wait, man.
I don't know if the Rangers can really do anything other than what they really have done in the past.
Liberty jersey?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
What if they
Back in
went
the-
red instead of blue?
Well, they'd have to wear white because of the road team, unless
They
the
could wear-
Islanders.
they could
unless
wear
the
red and
Islanders,
the
unless
Islanders
the
could wear
Islanders
blue.
do something white. I don't
What
know.
if the Isles did like all orange, like
Whoa.
fishermen? Just total orange.
That
That
might
would
be
be-
that
that'd be
might be
banging.
pretty cool.
That would be
That
banging,
would be
dude.
cool.
That might be
And
pretty
then-
cool.
Like the duck. Didn't the
then-
Ducks have like an all orange?
Lamorello is not going to allow it.
Oh,
but that would
yeah,
be
no.
cool.
And then
Probably not.
the Rangers could do something like pinstripes or some crazy shit, like white, like contrast.
If they didn't do pinstripe at Yankee Stadium, they're not going to do it at
No,
Giants.
yeah, they're not gonna do.
Well, it totally makes sense then because why wouldn't you do it there?
Yeah.
Have they ever brought back the Rangers? Have they ever brought back, like, you remember in the 70s they would actually
Hmm.
had the logo.
The
Yeah,
crest,
the
right?
logo. Well, they
It
did
was
the crest
horrible,
when they played Philadelphia in the Winter Classic.
Oh,
They
okay.
did the crest. They
Yeah.
Which
a
is-
modified version of it.
That was a nice one.
I love
like
that jersey.
that
I have
one.
my Lundqvist upstairs. I love it.
Yeah, I like that one.
It was a good
You
one.
could do like an outline of like the city, like a
The
what's it
skyline.
called? Skyline or something. In like red and blue, and it's like a white jersey or something like that. I don't know. Something out there. It doesn't matter. It's just like you already have the League of Liberty. You got the Rangers in every fucking direction, and crossword
Yeah,
puzzle.
I don't
Yeah,
think
just
jersey
make it a
sales
New York-
for this one are going to be a problem.
No,
New York
yeah.
Times. New York Times crossword puzzle, and says like New York
Ooh.
Rangers,
Ooh.
and then
No,
There you
don't
go.
say ooh to that. That was horrible. That was
It's the point.
horrible.
No,
Don't
that's
say
genius.
ooh. No, it's not. Good Lord. All I want to see though is the Flyers in pants, in roller hockey pants. That's what I want to see. They got to do that. They got to bring that back. Ugh.
Stupid fucking.
More things around the NHL. News around New Jersey Devils.
Yeah,
David
let's-
Stevenson,
Let's
his
talk.
rights could be on the move, eh?
I tell you what. I mean, it's a no-brainer at this point. Why not?
You're not going to resign him.
You're not. You've tried. and he's not going to give you a hometown discount. So why not trade him to anybody willing to? It's just who's going to offer the best package at this point. You get a couple picks. I don't know what it's worth. I don't, you're not getting, I don't think you're getting a first. You're probably not getting a second, right?
If you have a deal in place, you probably could. If the Devils allow for negotiation.
You get a second. Yeah. I mean, it's only what you're talking a month not even a month earlier.
Is he restricted or is he unrestricted?
No, he's a UFA.
He's a UFA.
Yeah, which is why that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you trade away a pick for something you can do in 4 weeks? Just because
to make sure you get the guy and he doesn't go somewhere else. That's why.
Yeah, and they can always trade him to another team
before somebody overpays for him. That's why they're going to do it.
That's a good point, Tom, because they could try to make a deal that isn't insane because he's some open market and everyone's trying to go for him.
Why wouldn't he want at that point? If you're the player, why wouldn't you go? Well, no, I'm 4 weeks away. Why not? I'm one of the most highly sought after free agents in this class. Why would I give that up?
Because your fucking agents in your ear saying you're going to get this much money on the open market. And if we get this, which is our target number, we should take it basically from anybody.
Yep. Yeah, they don't.
But when you get to the open market and now now some team is bidding on you and another team comes in and that agent starts to work it.
Right.
You might get overpaid.
This is where your agent is actually worth the money.
It just depends on the market for you based on what the teams that have the money need. Because if they're waiting on a big name that's not in your position and they go for that guy, and then there's the domino effect where people are like, okay, we have to go down for somebody else.
This defenseman, so I gotta.
And that's happened before where guys just kind of get shut out and like, oh shit, I could have made more money, but I wasn't the primary target, and now those teams that have the money can't throw as much at me. So it could happen. It just depends on what they're looking for. If they get what they want early, they'll go for it. But
I understand the logic. I just don't see the player again this close to UFA status. Why would he give that
up? Cole Caulfield gets a nice payday from the Montreal Canadiens today. What do you get? 7.5 over 8?
Yeah. 7.5 or 7.65?
Yeah, somewhere around there. You weren't very happy with this.
No, I think it's an overpay. Unlike with Hughes, that the deal down the line is going to be the best deal in the NHL. I don't think the Caulfield is going to age as well. I mean, he's never had more than, I think, 26 goals. He's always had more goals than assists, so he's not going to rack up a huge number of points. It just seems like an overpay for the production.
I equated this to the Jack Hughes deal because I think, just under a point a game, he did have some injury bugs this year. But I do think Montreal is going to pay him for the player that they're going to get, and projections out there, especially on Twitter today, everybody was talking about it. 35 to 50, potentially a 50 goal scorer. This guy in throughout it, and they got him locked up through his 20s, through his prime years. $7.5 million in 3 to 4 years. It's probably going to be a good deal for this guy.
But you're talking him doubling his career, his best year. Whether it's injury prone or not.
You talked the same thing about Jack Hughes. I get it. He's not Jack Hughes. He's not the superstar Jack Hughes is.
Jack Hughes makes the players around him better.
And you don't think Cole Caulfield
Caulfield is made better by the players around him.
I don't know.
He's not a playmaker. He's a scorer. He's not a playmaker.
I honestly think this is more like Jack Hughes than you want to believe it is.
No. Time will tell.
You're exactly right. And trust me, next year will be all about Cole Caulfield, and we'll keep a close eye on him.
Because I know your fucking elephant brain will remember this conversation.
When Montreal sets him up, puts him on the line with Alexis Lafreniere, then that Lafreniere's going to set him up right and left.
There you go.
They're going to be a dynamic duo.
I feel like though, it's easier to find a guy as a setup guy more than it is to find the goal scorer. And he's 22. He scored 26 and 46 last year. Montreal fans love him. From everything I've read, seemingly they're happy with it because they're going to get him. There's no bridge deal. They don't have to worry that in 2-3 years. So they have to pay him 12 million a year. Probably let's say it probably would be 12 million a year if the cap goes up by then in 2-3 years and the bridge deal will be up. So you're paying a discount and you get him for his entire window, right? Of being till about 30, right?
Yep.
You're not paying him in his 30s with all that money. So they could probably jettison him too at that rate and deal if he's a decent player and doesn't have the Jeff Skinner syndrome happen to him and all of a sudden forget how to play hockey and score goals. But I don't know. I think it's a pretty good move. They're locking up him and Suzuki, and they like those guys, and they keep building around him. The kid they drafted, the Slafkovsky. What the fuck's that guy's name? Yuri?
Slafkovsky, yeah.
Slafkovsky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
My new
take
favorite
Clayton
thing.
Keller
Good job, Nick.
over Caulfield any day.
What's that?
I would take Clayton Keller over Caulfield any day.
Okay, but Clayton, doesn't he play in Arizona?
Yeah. Roughly the same price.
Montreal's not going to pay him.
Roughly the same price. And Keller is way better at producing.
Yeah, but I don't know. Montreal wasn't a very good team last year.
They were terrible.
So we'll see what he is on a team that's going. And plus, the last 3 years of his contract, he has a modified no trade clause. So he doesn't have a no movement clause throughout. So that's certainly a good thing. And I think that contract could be tradable. Well, any contract in the NHL is tradable as long as there's the Arizona Coyotes. Okay, it's time to get to our top 5 list.
All right, let's go. Make it quick.
No, you didn't leave enough time to insert Billy's song in between. God damn it.
The top 5 again. I just can't wait to do the top 5 again. The life I love is making top 5s with my friends, and I can't wait to do the top 5 again.
It's a wonderful, wonderful song.
Thank you.
All right. This week was
Top 5 players that didn't play on your team.
Well, no. Top 5 NHL players.
Oh, you got to be very specific.
Yeah, it's
because
got to be
Nick's on
specific.
the podcast. I forgot.
That have never
Fuck, I
played
gotta
on
cross
your
off
team.
George Brett.
Yeah, I know. I had to cross off Michael Jordan. God damn it. So, all right, let's go in descending order. Start with number 5. I'll go first.
Okay.
My dad used to gets tickets to sporting events through his job when I was a young kid. We went to the Yankees, we went to the Nets, we went to the Devils. And going to Devil games, one of my favorite players on the Devils was Randy McKay. And I actually got a jersey of Randy McKay in my later years. So Randy McKay is number 5 on my list.
That's a good one.
Nice.
I will go next only because it just seems fitting that my number 5 is a Ranger.
No shit.
Oh,
And he is the guy I started watching first. His name comes out of my mouth. I say his name a lot, especially during the quiz segment and during the impression segment. It's James Patrick of the New York Rangers. As a defenseman, I felt like my favorite player would have to be a defenseman. The guys who were trying to get me to follow hockey at the time were Rangers fans, so I adopted James Patrick as my favorite player.
Very good. Very good. Fittingly, my 5th is not on either of your fucking teams. So
So you go next.
I'll go next. Why not? I have Mr. Peter, not Philip, Forsberg as my number 5. Just because watching him when he was healthy was one of the most dominant players to watch play a game. He was just a monster. And it felt like he came out of nowhere, even though he really didn't. But, he wasn't even he was part of the Lindros trade, but he wasn't really
He wasn't. Yeah.
He wasn't the like main target, but in the end, you look at that trade and you're like, Jesus Christ, what were they doing? And they traded,
They gave Colorado a dynasty. You mean
a dynasty, effectively. Quebec would then turn into Colorado, but yeah. But watching Forsberg, man, that guy was just so strong on the puck and just unbelievable. Played in that time of the game where it was like, dead puck era, just trapping and everything, and it wasn't always fun to watch. Man, he made it fun. He just made it. You watch him and be like, Jesus, he's fucking good. Guys drooped all over him. He just, monster legs, just pushing through and everything. I don't know. I loved watching that guy. It was just awesome. Not to mention, there's a amazing move he made. Amazing
The World
shootout
Juniors,
move.
right? That postage stamp goal.
That was the Olympics. That wasn't juniors.
Olympics.
That was the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Forsberg is it's an etched into hockey lore now, and it's kind of sets the tone for years later with these guys doing all these crazy fucking moves. But man, you watch that happen in the Olympics, you're like, Jesus Christ, what did that guy just do? You just kind of like didn't think that was like something you could even do. So anyway, that's my number 5.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with my honorable mention first because I had a list of
Well,
six.
no, you do that. You do that before number 1, Bill. Do that before number 1.
All right.
Yeah.
My number 5, and I wonder if anybody else is going to have somebody from this team because fuck the Flyers.
Fuck the Flyers.
This is an opportunity to name players that we really like playing, that we really enjoyed, and a few of them are on teams that I fucking hated, and this is the only place I could really admit it. John LeClair, one of my top. He's a top 5 guy for me. Just hard nose, played in the dirty parts of the ice. Just that physical presence in front of the net, and physical and a Flyer, but not a dirty player, which is unbelievable, almost unbelievable. Yeah, John LeClair. When I wanted to get a LeClair jersey, I could not get a Flyer jersey. I got him on a Team USA jersey.
Well, you could have got him on a Montreal jersey.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Could it be because he wasn't drafted by the Flyers that he wasn't that dirty player?
That's very possible. Yeah,
if he was dirty, they would have drafted him.
Yeah, I mean, and I only keep talking about the Flyers because being on the Legion of Doom line and all that stuff, I feel like is the most well-known part of his career.
And the guy hates when they name lines, and he said
he had that fucking curve on his blade, man. You roofed that fucking puck.
But again, fuck the Flyers.
Fuck the Flyers. My number 4 would have been another player, but he was eventually a Ranger. My number 1 and 5s are players that I don't fit the bill for players who would be a Ranger. 4, 3, and 2 certainly do fit the mold of aging players that actually I'm shocked that were never Rangers. And my number 4 is Alexander Mogilny. He was such a dynamic player for Buffalo and Vancouver, even New Jersey in his later years. That man, he just brought you out of your seat, and he was just a lot of fun to watch for me.
Speaking of players that brought you out of your seat, my number 4 is Pavel Bure.
That would have been my number 4.
When he had the fucking puck, your eyes were glued. If your eyes could keep up with him, you were watching him.
He would have been my number 1.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
That's what I definitely figured.
He made the mistake of playing for the Rangers for that short time.
He didn't have any knees left. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And
it was just bone rubbing against each other.
Yeah.
My number 4 is another Russian, Sergei Fedorov. Just
I have a feeling like we're going to hear that name again tonight.
That might happen. That guy was unbelievable all-around player, which I always loved that type of player, just that could do everything.
He was Forsberg before Forsberg, really, right?
He was.
Same, just a little faster, maybe a little less physical, but
yeah. And he was, obviously on that team and the Red Wings team that was just stacked, and but man, he was so good, and I just loved watching him. We used to, it was like that guy, like when we were playing hockey in the street like, as kids, and we would play that, like pretend we were different players, and then we go play NHL. Like I think the first version of NHL EA, I think it was like NHL PA on like Sega Genesis, and And someone got to pick the Red Wings and was like, "Come on, it's not fair. You can't get Fedorov and Geiserman and Geiserbird and
Stupid! You're so stupid!
because Konstantinov, and it was like unfair, you know." And that was like, so we always had that, and it was fun to. It was a fun.
He's not Jewish. It's not Geiserberg.
Geiserbird.
Didn't that guy cook meth? My number 4 out of the University of Maine, Paul Correa. Yeah, when he came into the league, like when he was playing in the mid 90s, I was in college, and that was just like the perfect time. Like late at night, ESPN2, West Coast games, Paul Correa's on. I'm fucking watching every time. It was so much fun to watch him play.
My number 3 was Brett Hull. It just took that one timer, man. Just meh. He was just an incredible hockey player. Even in the, I think what put him over the top for me was the World Cup goals and playing on that powerhouse team in '96. Really made me appreciate Brett Hull a lot more and really opened my eyes to who he was as a player. And he was just a fun player to watch.
My number 3 is the aforementioned Sergei Fedorov for all the reasons Nick said.
All right.
Fedorov again. All right.
My number 3 is first goalie on the list, I think. The Dominator, Dominic Hasek.
Might be the only goaltender.
Might be the only goalie. Honestly, like I was having a hard time with this one because I remember watching him all the time, and he would just make just the stupidest saves. Always out of position and flailing and doing crazy shit, and he just made fucking saves. And it was like, how is this guy so quick to get back into position and make saves? And it was just so exciting to watch. Steal games out of nowhere that he should no business to do so. And man, I just loved watching that guy play. So many highlights of him. It was just
all the while not wearing the traditional goalie mask.
no, the stupid cage.
Yeah,
you know?
Cage, yeah.
Little guy, like flip flopping everywhere. Like it didn't make sense. Nothing about him makes sense. If you go back and watch him play, you're like, how the fuck did he make any of these saves?
He was also like the first goalie that would drop his stick and use his hand on his blocker hand to pick the puck up.
Right. It's some weird shit, man.
Weird. That's just weird. Yeah.
My number 3 kind of goes hand in hand with Tom's number 3. My number 3 is the guy who has kept on setting him up, Adam Oates. Always, like we were talking about
him as a coach.
One of those playmaker guys, one of those guys that makes the players around him better. Yeah, loved watching him work, Adam Oates.
My number 2 was almost a Ranger. In 1998, the Rangers signed him to an offer sheet. I think the only offer sheet they have ever had in the history of their club. But the Colorado Avalanche matched it. And my number 2 is Joe Sakic. He would have completely changed the Rangers' history. Yeah. But he didn't. He kept making Colorado
fucking movie, Air Force One.
Huh?
Colorado matched his offer because they made a lot of money producing Air Force One.
Is that right?
Yeah. You didn't know that story?
No.
That enabled the Avalanche.
Well, I don't remember that story.
The movie Air Force One was a big enough success that like their ownership was tied into the production company, or it was a big enough hit that they made enough money off of it that they could re-sign Joe Sakic. Look it up.
Fucking Harrison Ford. God damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Getting all over you. Man.
Get off my team. Get it? Billy laughed.
Yeah.
Billy laughed. That's what matters.
Billy always
My
laughs.
number 2, speaking of greatness, is the great one, Wayne Gretzky, because he's got to be on the list because he was that good.
Even for your Mickey Mouse organization?
Even that comment, they were.
I mean,
how are you going to deny it?
That's usually an Islander joke, but yeah, I guess.
But no, he's definitely worth the price of admission.
Well, my number 2 is still playing hockey right now, and one of them probably going to end up as the most dynamic scorer of all time.
Jack Hughes,
Alexander Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Just good try there, Steven. You could have went with Luke Hughes. I might have been like,
just taking
right,
a guess.
You're fucking
I was
right.
just taking a guess.
Later, buddy. But yeah, I mean, you go back and watch his overtime after, you go back and watch his highlights, man. You just watch those goals and just like, this guy, unbelievable. Hits like a truck. He may end up with the most hits all time if he continues playing for enough years, but probably not. He'll probably end up in the top 3.
Well, Matt Martin's got to retire, right?
I hope so. Fucking hope so. I mean, one guy's got almost 900 goals. The other one's got,
Almost 9.
90 maybe. I don't know. I mean, Matt Martin's got it's not that good, but yeah. So yeah, Ovechkin, man, go back and watch. Just if you forget how good he is, just go watch some highlights. Go watch that fucking one he scores on his back. I mean, so many fucking things, and he's still scoring. He's gonna score another 40 for 2 more years and break the record and go down as the best goal scorer ever. So
Matt Martin, 898 games, 77 goals.
Oh,
So close to 90.
Getting there.
All right. My number 2 is the same as Tom's number 2, Joe Sakic. Yeah. The last great Nordique. Love Joe Sakic.
Before we get to my number 1, I think we've got to do some honorable mentions. It should be quick. The list is only 60 names.
Of course.
Jesus Christ.
we got Nicholas Lidstrom, Jeremy Roenick, Sergei Fedorov, Sergei Gonchar, Teemu Selanne, and Paul Kariya. Those guys are quality hockey players. But my number 1, like Nick's, is still kind of playing. He is an unrestricted free agent as of July 1st. And who knows, maybe he will be a Ranger one day. But right now he hasn't. And my number 1 is Jonathan Toews. And he is just, to me, he was the reincarnation of Mark Messier. And just a pain in the ass player to play against, and a leader. And hopefully one day he's the right age to be a Ranger. So it seems to be about right.
A Mark Messier award winner?
Yes, he was. I think he was the first
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Messier award winner.
So. My honorable mentions are Sid and Ovi. Just because they really resurrected hockey. That rivalry coming out of the lockouts, they really resurrected the game, and both played the game the right way. As much as we make fun of Sid, he is a little crybaby, but
little bitch.
He does everything on the ice. He does everything on. So they're my honorable mentions, which brings me to my number 1, Adam Graves.
Adam Graves a fucking crybaby.
Adam
What do you think of
Graves?
that?
Adam Graves.
Actually, I like Adam Graves. I wish
Quality
you had
hockey player.
Always,
named a shitty player that
just-
would have made more sense.
always the type of player I would have wanted on my team. Stood in front of the net, got destroyed, soft hands and hard fists. So Adam Graves, my number 1.
All right. I said I had no honorable mentions, but I did think of some good ones while we were talking earlier. I did have Sakic as in my top 5 and dropped him out, so I guess he's probably
Sakicberg.
Sakic was just he's actually the only hockey like picture I had in my wall growing up. Just because he had this like really cool one they had with him. Like
I had Alyssa Milano.
Well,
Anyone else?
I like yours.
I didn't
Definitely
have
like
that,
yours
but
for sure. No, I had
not on my wall. Not on my wall, Steve. Not on my wall.
Stealing, probably.
And the other guys actually all go together. Because I watched a lot of Devils games and I really, really enjoyed watching these guys play. But the A line, Hughes Cora, Patrick Elias, Jason Arnott. I loved watching them play, man. That was a fun little time watching those guys play. But I mean, I always liked watching Cora and Elias. They were just, especially Elias. He was one of my favorite players to watch when.
But you think about Peter Sikora, though, he was the type of guy. No matter what team you put him on, no matter where you put him, he just scored goals. He just scored goals.
Yeah, he was fun to watch, man. He was a good player, always underrated in the Vasilevsky range for sure.
Wow.
My number one is easily my favorite player to watch. And he only played for one team, and that's Pavel Datsyuk. That's just the Magic Man. Just honestly, I I watched that guy play his highlights. I don't understand how he could do the things he could do on the rink. And then the crazy thing to me is that he became one of the most all-around best players. Defensively, had a million takeaways. Just was unbelievable. He just became went from this guy. They were like, all right, he's really good offensively, and he may not be in the league very long because he can't play defense. And then just absolutely changed that whole narrative and became one of the most complete players in the game for a few years. And man, I love watching that guy. He was just something else. Every time he touched the puck, just made something happen. It's very much like Kucherov, but he played unbelievable defense and was, not a douchebag. So all the good things from
Fucking great.
So I had one honorable mention who I
Only
hated
one?
to leave off of my list. Yeah, just one, because I made it. I was trying to make a top 5 and I made a top 6. I'm like, shit, why do I have to have one of these guys come off this list? But both of my guys are guys that nobody else mentioned, which surprises me from in the era that we're from. My honorable mention played with a shit ton of the guys that you all named. Stevie Wonder, captain of the Detroit Red Wings.
Yep.
Stevie Y, baby.
Another guy just made all the players around him so much better. My number one favorite player from another team that I fucking hate mostly was defenseman Raymond Bourque.
Yeah.
Played forever for the Boston Bruins and finally won a cup with Colorado. Yeah, loved him as a player.
I could have guessed that.
Yeah, big time.
Yep. I thought about both those guys, mostly Stevie Y. I was like, I have too many fucking Red Wings on my list.
Nick's got a theme, just 200-foot players. Nick is all about
100%.
200-foot players, man.
I love that type of player. That's my favorite. So just so about it.
This is a great list. I really enjoyed putting this one together.
Could have gone faster.
And we all had different lists completely. Really didn't have a lot of overlap. That was
big
pretty
time.
good. Very rare.
I mean, there was only one or two players that were overlapped.
Sakic.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we were picking players.
Sakic,
teams other
Fedorov.
than our own, yeah.
Surprised nobody else had James Patrick. Shocked.
Well,
2 Rangers on your list, though, Steve, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they're the team I watch the second most.
Yeah.
Because of geography.
That's exactly right.
I got you.
I was thinking Claude Lemieux for a bit because I fucking loved watching him play.
So did Chris Draper.
Yeah.
ooh,
Oh, man.
too soon.
He didn't really watch him because he was behind him so much.
What do you want to do next week?
I want to do trivia with Bill right now.
Well, no, but what kind of top 5 do we want to do next week?
Why don't we just go into
What are you
trivia
thinking?
with Bill and then we could think about show prep when we're not doing the show.
We never do that.
Hence, we don't have
I
a
text
bet.
you guys TikToks. Did you see the fucking TikTok of the fucking Indian guy trying to pronounce the hockey names?
And now it's
Fucking
time
hilarious.
for trivia with Bill. Yeah.
Now this is the wrong Bill.
Which number 1 overall draft pick refused to play for the Quebec Nordiques?
Joe Sakic.
Peter Forsberg.
No,
Adam Graves.
Established that. He did.
James Patrick.
Ray
no.
Bork.
Adam Graves.
No.
Steve Larmer.
No.
Stevie Eisman. Stevie Heisenberg.
No.
Joe Sakic-Stein.
Eric Bieniemy.
Well, as it
Frank
turns out,
Gretzky.
Eric Bieniemy surely didn't play for the Quebec Nordiques. You do have that right, but
Brett
no, he
Lindros.
didn't. Wait, what?
Wayne Primo.
Brett Lindros.
You're close. You got the right family. No, not
Brett Hedican.
Brett Hull.
No,
One of the Sutters.
when you got
Brett
the right
Sutter. Brett-
family,
Hey,
Brent Sutter.
Brett Sittler.
it was Brent. Brent. Brent.
Brent.
that doesn't even matter because it's the last name that would be the same if they're in the same
Oh,
family, not the
weird.
first name.
Where are you from?
Wait, which one?
Did this guy
You said a
play for
lot.
one of the original 7?
He ended up playing for one of the original 6 later in his career.
Anaheim?
It's the original 6, by the way.
Theo Fleury.
No.
I'll mention.
Theo Epstein.
Ooh.
Oh. E. No.
Yeesh.
No, he was not a kid toucher that we know of. Wouldn't surprise me though. Let's face it.
Yeah, really would. Have we mentioned anybody on the multiple choice list?
No. Do you want to hear the multiple choice list?
Shocking.
Really?
That's shocking. How are we not? Like
Wow. Adam Foote.
Negative.
Adam Fox,
Nope.
Jocelyn Thibault.
No.
Jocelyn Lemieux,
No.
Claude Lemieux.
No.
Claude Vilgrain.
A number one pick, Claude Vilgrain. Come on.
No, another Vilgrade. I'm sorry. Peter Vilgrade.
Peter Worrell.
Negative. Nope. Todd Worrell. Nope.
Hmm.
All right, so let's go with the multiple choice.
Okay. A. Eric Lindros. B. Curtis Lecision. C. Owen Nolan.
Oh.
D. Matt Sundin.
Ooh.
Love that
How
video
about
game.
NHL face-off Matt Sundin?
Love that video game.
That's great.
I'm going Owen Nolan.
And you are incorrect.
Oh,
Was it Scott LaChance? What'd you say? Was the second guy?
Curtis
Curtis
Lecision. No.
Curtis, no decision. I don't want to go with that. That sounds right. That sounds right.
was it Scott LaChance?
No. No, he was not on the multiple choice. So it's either Eric Lindros or Matt Sundin.
Tom said.
I said Matt Sundin.
Oh, it's not Matt Sundin.
Oh, damn it.
I guess
All
you
right,
guys
fuck the
lost
Flyers.
trivia.
It's
Eric
it's
Lindros.
Eric Lindros.
Eric Lindros.
Fuck
There you
the
go.
Flyers.
Fuck the Flyers.
Fuck
It was not on
Spectrum
anybody's
Sports.
list.
Fuck the Spectrum.
No.
Fuck
don't have
Wells.
Eric Lindros on their
Fuck
favorite
First
player list.
Union.
I think even a
Yeah,
Flyers
Center.
fan wouldn't put Eric Lindros on their top five.
All right,
Put
listen
him
up,
behind Carter
boys.
Hart.
Listen up.
What?
We're 14 for 26. We're going into this power play after not scoring for a couple of weeks here. Got to step it up.
Stepping it up, sir.
Thanks, Coach.
Before Nick gets on, I want to cheat.
You're looking at birthdays.
Yes.
Birthdays of Rangers, Devils, Penguins, Islanders.
And now it's time for impressions with Nick.
Fucking great. Ladies and gentlemen, the Friends of Bravo podcast. You're ready for the fastest 2 minutes of this Type 45 show. It's the 20 questions power play. The rules are simple. The group has 2 minutes to guess a famous player, coach, front office, or any famous person associated with one of the 4 Friends and Rivals' favorite teams. The group can ask up to 20 questions in rapid fire. Answers will only come in the form of yes or no. The group will have to make a final guess once they've hit 20 questions or the power play has expired. If the group is successful, they win for the week and avoid shame for unable to win at a children's game. And away we go.
Is this player part of the New Jersey? Was this player associated with the New Jersey Devils?
Yes.
Was this person associated with the Pittsburgh Penguins?
Yes.
Is this player associated with the New York Rangers?
Yes.
Is it Jaromir Jagr?
No.
Was this person associated with the New York Islanders?
Yes.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Is this player a forward?
No.
Okay.
Player defenseman.
Yes.
Did this player play in the 90s?
Yes.
Darius Kasparaitis.
No.
He was never a Devil, no.
Yeah, I can't remember who would have played for all of them.
Vladimir Malikov.
No. Good guess.
Did this player also play in the 80s?
No.
Did this player also play in the 2000s?
Yes.
Oof.
Did this player win a Stanley Cup with the New Jersey Devils?
No.
Sergei Zubov?
Nope.
No, he wasn't never an Islander.
You guys never had Lyle Odeline. You never had Sean Chambers.
No. Rich Pilon.
No.
Sylvain Lefebvre.
Nope.
Matthew Schneider.
No. All right. Last guess.
Bill Housley.
Hey.
Brian
Brian Berard.
So this one is a difficult one. This player did play all 4 teams, was not a well-known player, and only played a handful of games for some of our teams. It is Joel Bouchard. Who played, was this only the second guy that I can find that played for all 4 of our teams at one point or the other. The cheat here is he played for the Devils only 1 game in 2001, 2002. He played for the Rangers for 27 games in 2002, 2003. 7 games. He got traded to the Penguins that year. Played 7 games to the Penguins. Came back to the Rangers for 28 games in 2003, 2004. And then ended up on the Islanders in 2005, 2006 and played 25 games there. So had a little bit of a jump around. He only had about, I don't know how many games in the NHL because it shows everything he played professionally.
Yeah, but you cheated. His birthday's in January. We were never going to get
that. Wait, look up birthdays while I'm doing this?
His birthday's in January?
Yeah.
Why did you pick Joel Bouchard?
Because he is the only other guy I found other than Aaron Ashton to have played on all 4 of our teams at some point in his career. And he's a lesser known guy, obviously. I barely remember him, but I had to stump you guys too, because you guys have been fucking me up lately. So
Steve just told you we've been missing and missing.
I barely remember Joel Bouchard. Man, good one, Nick.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Wow.
I'm sure Steve never even heard of him.
No, definitely.
I mean, it certainly sounds like a hockey player name.
Yeah, I mean, true.
All right, this is going to bring us to let's move on to the state and Steve's stomach.
Oh, that feels better.
This one's going to bring us to the year of our Lord 2015. Please go to February 13, 2015.
Oh, the day before Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but that's not the date. It's just the day of the post or the article. It actually happened in February. It actually happened.
That had to mean
February
somebody was having
9th.
sex.
February 13th, 2015 was a Friday.
Ooh.
Breakfast.
It was Friday the 13th?
Oh, yes. 20-ounce Coke Zero, sugar with an apple.
That's your breakfast. An apple and soda.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure I heard you right.
Lunch was a Chipotle steak bowl with a half Coke Zero, half regular Coke, because it was from the fountain. So
living on the edge.
A little half and halfage. Dinner was a ham and cheese sub from Tasty with a can of Coca-Cola Zero and chips on the side. Why did you pick Friday, February 13th in the year 2015?
It's not a very long story.
Good.
This one might put me over the edge a little. Sorry.
No, not a chance.
This was the day that a man was charged with having sex with a dead body in the funeral home in Georgia. So a homeless man broke into a funeral home and had sex with a woman's body, police said Friday. Dominique Smith, 26, was arrested February 9th when he was found with a bike stolen from the Hill Watson People's funeral service and further investigation revealed that a body had been disturbed during the burglary, police said. The results of our investigation and forensic examination gave us probable cause to believe that this individual had indeed sexually assaulted a dead body. Captain Gordon Griswold told the Ledger Inquirer of Columbus that Smith was found in a vacant home with other stolen property, including TVs and guns. Smith pleaded guilty to burglary, entering an unoccupied dwelling. Does that mean the funeral home or the dead body? Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and theft by receiving stolen property, according to a newspaper. He is currently in jail. It is unclear if Smith has an attorney. He is expected to appear in court on necrophilia charges on Monday.
Tom's a creep. Tom is a weirdo. Where does he come up with the shit? It's so disgusting.
And this is where you draw the line, not the animals. This is where you draw the line.
And this was that. I mean, you're banging dead bodies. That's
So here's what I take from the story.
That's a little rough.
Here's what I'm taking from the story. Never has there been a more appropriate backwoods police officer name than Gordon Griswold.
Brilliant.
Clark's cousin.
Yeah. I thought Eddie was Clark's cousin.
It's his other cousin.
But yeah, dead bodies, no. I
mean, it's not my thing, for sure.
But the raccoon was?
Well, again, I mean, they were drunk. They had no chicks around. They were Russian. What I mean, what are they expecting?
And there was vodka. And there was plenty of vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to do it this week.
Yeah, so that's what happened February 13th, 2015.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on all our socials.
Listen, I get that fucking everybody has been waiting for Patrick Waugh to be done with the fucking Memorial Cup so he can get interviewed to be an NHL head coach somewhere. But there's only 2 more positions open, and the Rangers said he ain't getting the position. That leaves Calgary. Does Waugh go to Calgary?
I don't know.
You could.
Then you're just taking a job to take a job to get in the league.
Wouldn't you?
He doesn't need the money. Why not be a little bit more picky? You can afford to be a little bit more picky.
Yeah, but to get back in the NHL, well, look, I get what you're saying, but also you want to get back into the NHL and coach.
No,
regardless,
you got to find the right spot too.
Yeah, but it's not like they have shitty players in Calgary.
Yeah,
they have great fundamentals.
They used to. Not anymore. Not since Johnny Hockey left.
Fuck that guy.
Chris Jury, just name a fucking coach.
I tell you what, man,
I don't give a fuck who it is. If it's Laviolette,
seeing more
fine.
and more people shouting that it shouldn't be Laviolette, it shouldn't be Hines, that it should be
Chuck Knobloch.
Chuck Knobloch, yeah.
I agree.
A lot of people online.
I agree, but because of his relationship with Hines in fucking college or whatever, it's going to be fucking him. At this point, I don't care. Just fucking name somebody so we can get it over with already. I'm sick and tired of speculation. There, I said it. All right, that's going to do it for us this week. Don't forget to follow us on the Twitter at @friends_rivals. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We'll read them on the air if you want us to. While you're there, turn on notifications for our podcast so you never miss an episode. Billy, say something witty.
Where in Georgia can I find one of them homeless people? Because my body ain't been disturbed in weeks. It's a no. It's a no. Okay.
Oh, my friends and rivals. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip, me over and pour me out.